Good morning. I have to say I think I've bitten off more than I can chew. We'll find out in less than a month's time when I go on my second adventure for the month of June/July 2021. Behind me I've prepared the aircraft for flying this morning just to do a test run, because in a few more days time I'm leaving on my first of the two adventures, and that is to go to Billawela, which is about 2 hours flying to the north, and I'll spend about 4 or 5 days up there. We'll go to a breakfast, we'll fly in the area, see some of the country, and just do some overnighting basically with a friend up there with a microlight as well. Now, in order to achieve this flight, I've made some modifications to the aircraft, to some of the mounting positions I'll show you now. One of those is I've moved the camera from this side, and I'll explain why in a second. Another one is I've moved the phone down to here for recording my audio and making phone calls during flight. I've moved my iPad from up here down to here because, well, it was there and I put it up there and then I put it back there. Before that I had a different compass in my dash which was mounted up there, and the compass, the angle of the dash wouldn't allow the compass to work properly. It was dragging and not accurate. Then when I put the iPad back up here where it used to be, I found the compass was being interfered with some sort of magnetic interference from the iPad, so the iPad needs to go here. The iPad I was using was the larger one. This is now my older Mini 4, because it fits between my knees better. It's more comfortable down there. I don't really need the big one. So that's some of the configuration changes. Another one has been this little baby over here. This is an older camera. A GoPro Hero Session 5. And I've got an alloy case for it. And I've also put a battery up the wing and done some experiments with charging and everything to make sure it's actually going to work. Why the Hero Session 5? It's got a smaller form factor, and I had it and I just thought I'd use it, and I'm going to test it this morning to see how well it performs. And why have I moved it to this side? Because the opening for the camera cable to go into is on this side, and at the other end it would have been pressurized with air, and dirt and dust and moisture would have been pushed into the camera, which I think already the lens might already have some flaring issues from that in the past. So we'll see how it goes this morning. Otherwise, that's the new configuration. Let's go, let's fly, and we'll talk about why I think I've bitten off more than I can chew for the second flying adventure this year, later this month, early next month. Okay, let's go. I hope you'll join me in the air now and come exploring. We're going to go up to Fraser Island, go and see what marine life we can see. And if there's anything, I'll put it in the video. If not, we'll just talk about cameras and setting up and upcoming flying adventures.
Together we'll fly, explore and adventure, find the limits and learn the basics, scenic landscapes and how to. Discover the amazing joy of flight and all the rewards it brings with CrayonBox on the recreational pilot, beginning now.
Well, okay. Oh, it's recording. There's a couple of other things I did as well that I haven't yet explained. One is I've put the 360 camera here, and the reason for that is if I sit right in the middle, you can see me, mind you past the pole, but you can also see out this side and that side and forward and maybe even behind me to some degree. So I'm thinking that might be one of the more optimal positions for the 360 camera. We'll wait and see. And there was something else, didn't I do? So what was I going to say? Well, on my iPad, what I've done is you can actually set up shortcuts. So I set up a shortcut to start something in Australia that we call av traffic, which combines the two different, and I think ADS-B as well, two different forms of navigation electronic flight bag, so Oz runways and AV traffic, onto one screen. And that means we can see aircraft traffic from both systems, and so that opens. Then it opens Oz runways. I use Oz runways as my electronic flight bag. And then it opens a dialogue box with some automatic setup messaging, including the date, time, and the fact that I'm preparing to fly. And I've put in a couple of people there that I want to send a message to say that I'm now taking off. As an email, it'll send that, and then they'll know that I'm now departing, and probably when they should expect me back, or the fact that I've even just taken off is something that if I don't turn up before dark, something's not right. And of course they have the option to ring me as well. So that's all firing away nicely. We've got a temperature of 34 degrees, iPad's up. Let's do our pre-flights. So Twin Fisher. Okay, and I've just put some spray on to try and stop some of this corrosion from flying around the beaches. Just on the nuts, they're starting to get a bit rusty. You probably see that on a lot of aircraft actually, on the front of the bolts and nuts where you fly, where the wind is coming onto the bolts. Should have done that earlier, but I didn't know what to put on them. Hopefully I've got it sorted now. I'm using a product called Lanox, which contains lanolin. Hopefully, I don't know. Don't get distracted. Switches, harness, helmet, yep. Radio set and on and everything, and traffic, and we're good to go. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, taxis Charlie for runway 17 Maryborough. So this morning I'm trying to get up to Watumba Creek, which is about 3/4 of an hour flight north. I'll have a tailwind going up. I'll have a headwind coming back, so I'll be mindful of the fuel burn. So yeah, there's been a lot of changes on the aircraft in terms of trying to get organised for this adventure flight this week. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 crosses runway 3012 Maryborough. And yeah, so camera, move this camera, move the iPad, installed a new compass. We'll be checking the compass accuracy this morning. At the moment, so I can check it against my EFIS as well, indicating 342 and 340 on the compass, so that's pretty good. Just moving on the ground. It's not wildly out of spec, that's for sure. I think my we'll just do our compass check while we're lined up on the runway too. Get the centre line right, we've got to be technical here. Okay, it's indicating 160, and we've got a 10 degree, should be 170 on there. Oh yeah, not quite lined up. Okay, good to go. Good to go? You good to go? Good to go. Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is airborne 17, and we'll be departing left-hand crosswind out to the east. Maryborough traffic, climbing through 600 feet for 1000 Maryborough. Might pay to go a bit higher. Feels a bit, yeah, feels a little bit rough down here. Oh, we're still climbing. I'll keep climbing. Westerly winds are normally bumpy. How's that camera? Oh yeah. Waves of turbulence. EFIS indicating 40, compass indicating a 60, and we got 2 knot tailwind, so that means it's more of a crosswind, that's why we're drifting sideways.
Hervey Bay traffic, microlight 6340 is crossing a beam of the field to the east at 1800, tracking for Moon Point to the northeast. Hervey Bay traffic. Yeah, we're just crossing over the Sandy Straits. Now, one thing I wanted to mention about the iPad automatic shortcut macro, if you like, how it transmits emails. If you want to join that, you know, like if you want to be a part of that list, if you like, where you want to receive a notification if I'm taking off, you can track my flight, because in the actual email notification it gives you a link, yeah, where it tracks aircraft on Oz runways in Australia, so you'll be able to watch and see what I'm up to there, as well as be a safeguard for me if, you know, suddenly I disappear off the screen for some stupid reason. Hopefully there's a runway where I'm going to. Yeah, don't go start calling emergency services when, you know, it's a false alarm and there's nothing wrong though. But just more eyes, more ears, more watches. It's always a safety thing for anyone flying, especially when you're crossing water like this. We can glide back to the airfield. We've got the island between us. We've got a couple of island options here at the moment. If it came to the crunch there. Currently at 2,500 feet, tracking across the Sandy Straits, the Great Sandy Straits in Hervey Bay. And the island below us now in front of us is Big Woody Island. To the left we have Round Island. And to the extreme left we have the marina and Urangan of Hervey Bay, which is where I live, which is why we have access to this fantastic water resource. Fishing, boating, water skiing, jet skiing, just camping, just yachting, just everything. Just what more could you want? There's reefs, you can go diving. Pelican Banks is below us. And some people say Pelican Ledge as well on the right. What a noise. Compass is indicating 30 and EFIS is indicating 18. Do we still have a problem? So my heading is 20 and my compass bearing is 35. So that's like 12 degrees different. And we are in a minus 10 degree, 11 degree isogonal, is that the word? Correction. We got to do a compass correction for the isogonic lines on the charts. Because of our latitude, longitude, it varies in different parts of the world. It's something to add into your calculations when doing manual navigation exercises. Add or subtract. I think last time was November last year when we came over to look at the fire damage. Actually, now's a good opportunity to see how it's recovering. You can see on the right there's still a lot of bare, revegetated areas. It's still very dark brown, black looking. Bare areas, open areas. The scrub has not recovered as yet. Maybe we'll see some kind of rejuvenation in summer months, which is another 2 months away when spring starts. What are we now? Beginning of early June anyway. So July, August, September, 3 months and we'll be into spring. Okay, Watumba Creek. It's not so colourful looking this way into the sun. I wonder what it looks like from the other direction. Okay, wind is indicating we have a 5 knot tailwind at the moment. So, should we duck over to Orchid Beach? I think we should. Last time I came over here at this altitude, man, it was rough. It still landed though, but it just wasn't good for filming. How's that camera on the left wing picking this up? Hopefully it's reliable. That's one of the things I'm testing today.
It's out in the cold. The alloy casing should hopefully give it some sort of heat sinking and cooling. Hopefully not too much though. Air temperature at the moment is 17 degrees and there's a wind chill factor, so it's probably feeling the effects of like 10 degrees or 12 anyway, I don't know. There is a calculation for that. And it's a kind of a changing scale as well. Looking very dry in the Watomba Creek at the moment, very drained. It's a low tide obviously. In terms of wildlife, I'm not seeing anything, marine life I should say. I've seen some people on the beach. Let's just see what happens if we go... Should we just go around here? I'm tempted to go over to Orchid Beach. How's my fuel? 29 indicating. Remembering I do have a headwind to get home. Flight time this time is 50 minutes. Righty, let's head to Orchid. It's only over here. See what it does to us in terms of wind. Orchid Beach traffic, my flight 6340 is 5 miles to the west. At 2000 and we'll be just in the area for a few minutes. Orchid Beach traffic. $20 headwind, wow. Manta ray down below. It's a little bit more bumpy down this way. I'm just trying to get to the Mahino shipwreck, which is about another 3 miles ahead of us. And yeah, we'll fly over the Mahino and then we'll track southwest for Maryborough on the way home. 2,000 feet currently. Are you admiring the wonderful, spectacular sand blows of Fraser Island? That's why we came. Have a look at it, just to catch up. Remember what it looks like. Nice part of the world to be flying. I think you'll agree, won't you? Mahino, half a mile. Mahino's a shipwreck that was lost during a cyclone. It was being scuttled, it was being towed for Japan. A cyclone came through and the tow line broke and they lost it on Fraser Island. A few attempts were made to refloat her, however, they couldn't do it. They did all sorts of things. And today she lies in ruin because the Air Force in Australia decided to use it as target practice. And it's just been corroding and rusting away, and it's just a fantastic landmark, very big tourist attraction here. And yeah, it was used during World War II as a hospital ship, and it was used before that as a cruise liner. It was a steam ship. I think it had 2 boilers, 2 funnels. See if I can dig up a photo. I'm sure I can. She's really sunken and wrecked. First time I saw it was about 23 years ago. And it was in a lot better condition then, needless to say. Right, we've seen that, done that, been there. We'll turn right and we'll start heading across the island. I'll commence a climb, we'll put some power on, cruise control, and we'll make our way back to Maryborough. I just don't want to get the bumps over the island sand dunes, and it's a safer option to be higher anyway to make give us more options for landing if we need to. I hope you've enjoyed the flight this morning. We'll be landing shortly. Current temperature on the ground is an estimated, well, up in the air it's 15 degrees now. My visor's fogging up when I breathe out. Estimated temperature on the ground 22, I guess. We could check that. We'll check it later. Or not. Currently 2,700, climbing. We'll climb to 3,500. And we should see temperatures of around about 13 degrees at 3,500. On the right now you can see some of the bare sand journey kind of bushy scrubby areas. That would be a result of some of the fires that we had. Scrub is recovering slowly. I think we'll see a real surge when it comes to summertime, but it will take quite a few years to get back to what it was. We will be 10 miles. Switching. Hervey Bay traffic, microlight 6340 is 10 miles to the east of the field. At 4,400, tracking for Maryborough to the southwest. Hervey Bay traffic. I need to descend, it's too cold. We did get to 12 degrees as it turns out. Pull some power off, let the aircraft do its glidey thing and just consume energy. Down below on the 10 o'clock position now is a resort on Fraser Island still, called Kingfisher Bay Resort. Again, very popular destination. Actually, there's two barges. One's just two vehicle passenger barges. One's just departing Kingfisher Bay Resort now, and there's another one coming in from Riverheads, which is where they depart from and arrive to for vehicular exchange to the mainland. I hope you like my description this morning. I am feeling a bit silly and cold. That's the reason. That's my only excuse. Hervey Bay Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340 is currently overhead Riverheads, 10 miles to the west, east of Maryborough and Mount Maryborough, 2,500 feet. Estimate Maryborough at 40, Maryborough traffic.
Well, yeah, I was talking about I've bitten off more than I can chew. I'm flying into an air show in July west of Brisbane called the Brisbane Air Show, and apparently there's quite a lot of aircraft fly-in brief information. So I'm camping under wing, which adds to some of the complication, but basically there'll be a lot of traffic. I need to be parked and on the ground in my spot and have my tent set up and ready for the evening, and I need to be out of the area before 9:20 AM, and I cannot return to my aircraft until 4 PM. That means if anything happens to the aircraft, wind or anything, or the tent, or I need something from the tent, I won't be able to go and get it, which kind of complicates things with cameras and other things that you might want to do. So basically I have to make myself fully self-sufficient throughout the whole day, and hopefully I can find a base. But there's that other thing of getting into the airfield. I have to leave at first light or sunrise or fly from another airfield closer to the destination. Flight time is an hour and a half. 6:30 is looking like sunrise. I won't be there till 8 o'clock, and then I need to be out of the airfield runway area by 9:20. It gives me an hour and 20 minutes to set up my tent, get organised, get everything I need and get out, and I can't return until 4 PM. So I could say I'm a little bit apprehensive about the whole thing, but oh well, you know, I'm sure it's doable, it's possible, let's make it happen. Anyway, that's why I think I might have bitten off more than I can chew. Getting out of there won't be nearly as hard, hopefully. I won't be able to leave until Monday. I'll fly in Saturday morning, but leaving Monday morning means that most of the traffic will have gone. I won't have to leave in a hurry, And of course, hopefully the weather's kind to us. We've got no idea at this stage. We're still a month out from actual air show, just under a month. And so there'll be a leisurely departure and a 1.5 hour flight back to Maryborough, where I'm based. So I should be able to just pack up my tent and everything casually and as I need to. But watch this space and tag along. Hopefully that video will come out in the next few months. Obviously we haven't shot it yet.
Maryborough traffic, microlight 6340, turns base 17, full stop Maryborough. Stop porpoising. Stop it. Brilliant.